On behalf of the Right Selection Group and the Ideas Exchange, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you here today. Firstly, thank you for your patience. Just to get started, there's always things to just fine-tune, but as you can see, we've got a full house. So I congratulate each and every one of you for investing your time in being here today, because rest assured, it will be a great learning experience, something that I've been mind mapping myself for over 3 years. And it's made a profound difference on my personal and professional life. If you could take a moment before we begin as well, just to check your mobiles, just to ensure they're on mute, or switched off if you prefer, but just on mute. That way we can respect the fellow delegates and focus on enjoying the time we have with Tony. That's the best way to get the best value of today. Some of you may have heard this question. If you have, then you could leave it to the rest who are here. How many of you here are attending a Tony Buzan presentation for the first time? Fantastic. I believe some of you were at Crosswords Bookshop. Some of you at MTHR. Fantastic. Welcome to all of you as well. What does Al Gore, Bill Gates, and Ken Blanchard have in common? Al Gore, you familiar with Al Gore? Ken Blanchard? Bill Gates have in common? Any suggestions? Mind mapping, that's a great idea. Anything else? Any other suggestions? These three known gentlemen, what do they have in common? The art of giving. Any other suggestion? Followers of Tony Buzan. Yep, all those answers are 100% correct. But the answer I was looking for is none of them have had the pleasure of meeting me. Yes, my name is Gautam Ganglani, Managing Director of Right Selection Group. We've been in Dubai for over 17 years, partnering with organizations and individuals like yourselves who have a passion of learning and development. And we partnered here in India with the Ideas Exchange that's headed by Vikas Vij. And we'll be hosting similar such workshops throughout India. And you must realize that each and every person here, the fact that they've invested their time, means they're lifelong learners. They believe in learning, they believe in development, they believe in making a difference to the society, they believe in investing in their children. So you're surrounded by lifelong learners. So do take the time during the day to meet people at the table, to network with those around you, because it's a great opportunity for networking in addition to the great learning experience with Tony. And the correct answers, all three people actually are mind mappers. In fact, they endorse mind mapping and they use it personally and professionally. Another big name which many of you know about is Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra is also a mind mapper. I have had the pleasure of meeting him personally, so hence I didn't include his name in the beginning. So the Ideas Exchange, you will get a chance to meet their team here and get to know their conferences for the rest of the year. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Tony Buzan, and I hope all of you can see the screen clearly. Yes? So obviously traditional introductions when we do conferences and events like these are traditional through a piece of paper or shared from the stage. The difference with Tony is using the mind map. That's the best way to introduce him. So you will hear me explaining it, but at the same time, do focus on the screen. You get a chance to understand more about mind mapping just by this example. So the center image is Tony Buzan himself, and there he disappears. The first branch, the main word is the word author. He is an author of over 100 books, in fact 121 books. These are available in 30 languages and in 150 countries. In fact, all these books would be available with our partner Crosswords here in India. We had a great book signing in Bangalore and just recently in Mumbai as well. Tony loves poetry, that's universal poetry. We have a fellow poet amongst us. Our partner, in fact, for the pens that you have today is by a gentleman called Sandeep Jain. Sandeep, if you want to stand. This is Sandeep Jain, so let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Sandeep, for your support in providing the stationery and pens for today. And he's a passionate poet, as he shared with Tony last evening as well. The next branch is educator. Tony constantly educates adults and children, adults in such workshops like today, and children and parents. And we look forward to doing more in India. So if any of you are connected with schools or universities, colleges here in India, it'll be our pleasure to be referred to any educational institutes where Tony could spend more time in future trips. The next branch is sportsman. As it says there, well, he was the Olympics coach for in the Olympics for rowing. He loves swimming, Aikido, chess. Swimming is, I keep constantly sharing this, but it's a phenomenal discipline. He's 200% committed to exercising every single day, and is very, very fit by that discipline. Next is intelligence, the branch. He has the #1 creative IQ in the world. The #1 creative IQ in the world. That speaks leaps and bounds of his credibility, that he walks the talk. He does constantly research on the brain. He's an editor of the Mensa magazine, and which contributes to the IQ, which is part of the IQ Society. Media, obviously we know he's constantly in the media as a leading lecturer of the brain. This was aired on TV, radio, newspapers. In China, 350 million. In Vietnam, 85 million. Egypt, 120 million. And over 2 billion on radio over the years. Here in India itself, we've run several events in the past. You may have 2 or 3 reporters. We've had 17 interviews with Tony, and there's some amazing stories of one more question, which ended up being 10 more questions by each and every reporter, just wanting more of his time. So obviously, they believe that this can make a difference in the community here, both at a corporate level and very much at the educational level as well. He's an advisor to several governments, Singapore government, Mexico, and China. And I know he works very closely with the Bahrain government as well. He works as an advisor to several businesses all over the world. These businesses include, I'll give you one example, is Xerox Middle East. The chairman of Xerox Middle East himself is a mind mapper. There are several other organizations like that in the Middle East, in India, throughout the world, who incorporate mind mapping as a part of their organization structure. It's an immersed into the senior management as well. And Xerox, in fact, just opened brand new premises with over 5,000 square feet. And the chairman said this was entirely conceptualized through a mind map, the entire design, the entire layout, everything through a mind map. His achievements, he is the founder and creator of Mind Map, which was founded over 40 years ago. Speed reading, he has a brain trust charity, constantly raising money for charities of developing the brain. And he runs the World Memory Championships, which we look forward to hosting here in India sometime soon. And last but not least, as you can see, the mind map in front of you has been created by the iMindMap software. This is a very user-friendly software. I've personally been using it for 3 years myself. And as I shared earlier, it's made an immense difference on my personal life and professional life. I've used it in every area of our business. It's, as you can see, very user-friendly, can be converted to JPEG, to PDF, or even to PowerPoint to do an introduction, to do a summary for your marketing meetings. So on that note, if you could join me in giving a warm Mumbai welcome to Tony Buzan.
Thank you, Gautam, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is going to be a day exploring your extraordinary intelligence. We start by just asking a few questions to find out who we have with us today. How many of you here have done a mind map? Excellent. How many of you have never done a mind map? Good, so fresh virgin territory. We shall look forward to that. How many of you are parents? Good, then I will relate much of what I say today to the family, to the bringing up of the child, to dealing with the parental-child communication. How many of you here daydream? Excellent. How many of you daydream every day? How many of you enjoy your daydreams? Very good. And how many of you have already had a daydream in this room in the short time that I have been speaking to you? And I know you have, because so have I. Now we're going to start by having you introduce yourselves. You've been introduced to me. You're now going to do a quick exercise where you're going to introduce yourself. You have in front of you colored pens, but especially an A3 mind map pad. I'd like you to take that, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes just to prepare a little introduction of yourself. I want you to imagine that you are leading a seminar, a discussion on the topic that is relevant to you, and you're, in this session, providing the individual who is introducing you with the notes to introduce you with, right? So it's like a 5-minute, your curriculum vitae highlights. Okay, so this is a fast exercise because we imagine that you've suddenly been asked to speak, you weren't particularly prepared, and you said, yes, I'll do it because the person who was speaking is unavailable. And so you're quickly jotting down your life history for the introducer to say, this is your new speaker for the day. So make sure that this is good.